Sonic 2006, just the sheer thought of the game gives most Sonic fans nightmares. This game had so much potential to be Sonic Adventure 3, however it suffered from a rushed development cycle which led to an unfinished game being released which resulted in one of the lowest ratings for a Sonic game. With its very complex story and adventure-like gameplay, I believe it's a very underrated game and better than what many Sonic fans claim it to be. Sonic 2006 issues are all tracked down to the strange development of the game. Development of the game began in 2004 and there was a strict timeline to release it for the holiday 2006 to coincide with Sonic's 15th anniversary. With the release of the Xbox 360, Sonic team wanted to be more ambitious and push the limits graphically, which gave them an entire new set of challenges. During that time, Sonic co-creator Yuji Naka got frustrated and wanted to work on a Sonic game for the new Nintendo Wii. This led to the team splitting in half to work on Sonic and the Secret Rings, while the remaining members fell behind schedule and rushed out a working version of Sonic 2006 on store shelves for the holiday season. One of the big reasons why I believe this game is so underrated is because of its very ambitious and unique story. Much like the adventure games, there are 3 playable story campaigns, being Sonic, Shadow, and Silver, that all connect to each other. The basic storyline starts with Dr. Eggman kidnapping Princess Elise of Soliana in an attempt to harness the flames of disaster. Once Sonic saves Elise, Silver finds Sonic and believes he destroyed the world and attacks. Following that encounter, Dr. Eggman tricks Sonic, steals the Chaos Emeralds, and sends him to the destroyed future. There he meets with Shadow and they discover that Mephiles tricked Silver into believing that Sonic is the Iblis Trigger. Then through Chaos Control, Sonic returns to the present and Elise gets killed when the egg carrier crashes, but with Silver's help they go back in time and Sonic is able to save Elise before the egg carrier crashes. Then in the final story, Mephiles kills Sonic but he's revived, and then Sonic, Shadow, and Silver all go super and defeat Solaris, which then causes the events of the game to reset itself. I actually find the story is mostly good as the cutscenes do a very good job of telling the story. The voice acting was very good, especially Jason Griffith and Mike Pollock, and everyone sounded the way you would expect them to sound. The only downside of the story is Elise kissing Sonic, and there's not too much playful banter with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles because they took more of a serious tone with their characters. When it comes to the gameplay, there are 3 main campaigns, being Sonic's story, Shadow's story, and Silver's story. Each has 8 levels and various bosses before you reach the final story and ultimately Solaris. It feels much like an adventure-style gameplay due to the interesting way that all 3 campaigns intermingle with each other. The graphics of this game are incredible and well ahead of its time for a game that came out in 2006. In addition, the art style makes many of these levels feel very realistic while still reminding you that you are playing a Sonic game. So when it comes to the levels, all of them are very unique to this game. You will not find Green Hill, Emerald Hill, or Sky Sanctuary anywhere. Instead, you will find all new levels with their own unique theme and characters. Some of the best levels include Crisis City, where you're literally running through a city that's on fire, or you might be in Radical Train, where you are trying to catch the train, or even Wave Ocean, which is beautifully designed beach area and a lot of things to do. With so many playable characters, one advantage is that Sonic, Shadow, and Silver's levels are all customized and tailored to their own unique abilities. There are 4 important aspects for a Sonic game to be good, including speed, platforming, exploration, and combat, and Sonic and Silver's story seem to be really good with a mix of all of those, while Shadow's story focuses a bit more on the combat. All these stages have the right amount of platforming where you're not going too fast, but rather a good pace for Sonic where he is not going too slow or not too fast, so you feel like you're not going to fall off the platform. In addition, there are 3 difficulty settings, so there is essentially 9 different ways to play every single stage. Physics are generally good and remind me of adventure-era gameplay. Sonic's story is perfect for running and blasting through stages really fast. Shadow's story is mostly about combat and just making him feel like a badass all the time. Silver's story is really good with platforming and you can move around objects with ease. The game is known for 2 major issues, one being the loading screens, which are extremely frustrating and sometimes it doesn't make sense why it takes forever to load. But when it comes to the glitches and bugs, the Sonic community has just blown this way out of proportion. Yes, there's a few glitches and bugs, but there's not as many as you'd think there'd be. Sonic, Shadow, and Silver's character models are very interesting looking because they are taller and rather than being cartoony, they have a more serious look to them. The boss battles are just the right amount of difficulty and not too long as to slow down the pace of the game. When it comes to the final boss, you get not 1, not 2, but 3 Super Hedgehogs, being Sonic, Shadow, and Silver, which makes the final boss even more powerful than any other final boss in a Sonic game, despite the fact it is a very easy boss to beat. Lastly, when it comes to the music, that's where Sonic 2006 really shines the most, as there's so many banger songs, especially His World, All Hail Shadow, Dreams of Absolution, and Radical Train, all of which build hype and fit so well into each each level. In conclusion, Sonic 2006 has full-out adventure gameplay which feels a lot like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. The story, music, and level design are very strong. The game does have many flaws, especially the loading screen glitches and bugs are very annoying and frustrating at times, but they are certainly blown a bit too far out of proportion. Sonic 2006 is underrated and deserves a bit more than the extremely unfavorable reviews that this game has gotten. There's obviously the PS6 remaster, but hopefully one day Sega will give Sonic 2006 a proper remaster to fulfill the game to its full potential. That's gonna do it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and remember, you gotta go fast!